and I noted it was a Friday the 13th. So that was actually a lucky day for me. I had that was a technician class license. I had taken it by mail. You could do it back then. I'd found one of my friends' father was a ham and was willing to give me the test, the code test, and the written test. And so we sent that off, and I'm not sure exactly what the date was that I took the test, but I got the license on Friday the 13th of 1974. I was 19. That was between my freshman and sophomore years of college.
And that was your technician class license then?
That's correct. Yeah, that was tech.
And do you remember the call sign?
Yes, it was WA4KVO. Whiskey Alpha 4 kilovolt oscillator, I think is what I said.
Did you have any mentors or other people that helped you along?
Yes, I did. There were several that helped me quite a bit. Not when I first started. I was sort of just working from books, and then, of course, when I got a license, got on the air, folks were helping. But certainly one of my college professors, Dr. Jesse Sherwood, whose call I don't remember, he was a huge help to me, and he showed me the practical side of radio in the physics labs. We measured the length of coax with a pulse generator and a high-speed pulse generator and a storage oscilloscope. We also, I'll never forget the day that we were doing an experiment with a magnetic resonance system, big magnet, had water cooled, and some vial of material in it. And he pulled out a grid dip oscillator to find out the resonant frequency of that material. And I thought, well, here's a connection, certainly with radio and the physics that I was learning. One of the others in graduate school, he was a fellow graduate student. I went to New Mexico State University for my doctorate in astronomy, but there was a physics grad student there named Brad Mauger, KB5QZ. My call after I got upgraded to advanced in 1978 was KB5EZ, so we were always, people were confusing us. We're both bearded grad students. But Brad was really a brilliant electronics guy, and learned a lot from him about HF operating, and we built a repeater we took apart my HW202 Heathkit and made a repeater out of it, and so he built the control circuitry for that and the idea, and I learned so much practical stuff from him. In recent years, it was NM4T, Craig Behrens, a very good friend of mine who's now Silent Key as of early this year. And he really helped me out a lot with portable operating and quite a bit with just kind of how to manage volunteers. I've been in leadership positions in several ham clubs, and that's a different thing when you're managing volunteers and trying to get people to do something. But he had such a gentle way about him of doing that was really learned a lot from him in my experiences with him.
Now, you said earlier that you found your first logbook. Do you remember your first contact?
Yes, it was with W4RGB. Now, I lived in North Georgia at the time. I was going to school in South Georgia, Valdosta State, but I was home for the summer, and it was the very day that I got my license that I fired up the HW202 and made a contact with Bill, W4RGB. I was in Chickamauga, Georgia. He was in Benton, Tennessee, as I recall. I didn't have that in the log, but I do remember that, which is a distance of about 50 miles. And this was on simplex on 2 meters.